I wanted to get your reaction to the Manny Olivers being arrested there outside the hearing room.
It's awful, Lawrence. It's awful to think that parents have to now become activists simply for something that we should all agree on, which is that we should protect our kids and not people like the shooter at my high school's ability to get an AR-15 as a 19-year-old. Threatened to shoot up my high school multiple times and still be able to legally own that AR-15. Patricia and Manny should be, celebrating Joaquin's graduation from college. They shouldn't be activists.
David, when we think about progress in the last 5 years, I feel like I'm seeing it when I see Congressman Frost sitting there. There he was 5 years ago helping to organize March for Our Lives, not yet old enough to be a member of Congress. And here he is today in the hearing where parents of a victim of that shooting that you survived were present, and ultimately one getting arrested. To see him in that position is the kind of progress I know you've been working for.
It's what we've been fighting for since day one, Lawrence. We've been fighting not to put the pressure on the outside like we're going to be doing tomorrow on Boston Common, and which is why my friends behind me are helping me and others build protest posters and everything like that. We're going to be on Boston Common tomorrow at 1 p.m. Protesting to make gun laws even stronger in the state that is leading on gun violence prevention in Massachusetts. But it does give me hope to see Maxwell out there. You know what really is amazing to me is just about 48 hours ago, I was in Maxwell's office in Congress for the first time. And what really was remarkable to me was I was in there with, one of the parents from Uvalde, but I was also there with Patricia and Manny. And they actually said what's really amazing to them is, although as horrible as it is that they don't get to see Joaquin grow up, they feel like they're seeing the movement grow up in each and every one of us, with Maxwell coming into Congress, with my graduation and other students from March for Our Lives and Joaquin's friends and others graduating. And it gives them a sense of hope. That's why we do this work, to make sure that when people like Joaquin Oliver and his family come to America, fleeing violence from a place like Venezuela, that they know that their kid is going to be safe in their school. And the biggest challenge to achieving the American dream is how hard you can work and how big you can dream, and not having it stolen and shattered by an AR-15 and a corrupt political system that is fueled by blood money that these politicians are getting to put the lives of our children after getting money from the NRA, after getting money from the cartel of death that is stopping progress on this issue that the vast majority of Americans support.
David, it was only today that I bothered to finally look up what was the Senate vote on banning machine guns when the FBI and law enforcement all around the country said, we got to ban machine guns, these gangsters.
And the NRA, Lawrence.
And it turns out, of course, it was unanimous. And that's almost 90 years ago that we could be unanimous when law enforcement and the country was facing a gun in the hands of criminals that law enforcement couldn't possibly respond to.
Yeah, it's quite remarkable that they were able to do that. But the other thing that's crazy, Lawrence, is I know from studying some of that many of these gun owners and organizations like the NRA were heavily involved in it.